Hello and welcome to Anthropology 203, Introduction to Cultural Anthropology, Fall 2021. My name is Professor Torres and I will be your instructor for this course. I want to show you first of all the books for this semester. Cultural Anthropology, Appreciating Cultural Diversity, that's the 17th edition. The 18th edition is fine. It's a really great book for an introductory text for introductory cultural anthropology. The readings are short, they're concise, but they're really varied. It's such a great book. It can be, this is the least amount of money, the most cost-effective book too, I think, out there. It's a loose leaf edition, meaning that you'll have to get like a $3 binder to put this in, but it's, the way to go. Rent it, whatever. Again, the 18th edition is fine. They vary somewhat. Another book you'll want is Conformity and Conflict. This must be the 15th edition when you get this book. It's important because every edition, the readings are slightly different. So the readings for this semester are specific to this edition of Conformity and Conflict. And finally, Wisdom Sits in Place, a really small ethnography. You can get for $8.95, I think, on Kindle. So really inexpensive. You can get a hardback version if you want, or a paperback version. But this is what it looks like for you. So you want to get those books right away. Order them this week, the middle of this week at the very latest, and get on that. I'm going to take you now to the course Canvas page. So this is what you'll come into on your dashboard. You'll see the course. Open it up. And the home page, you'll land on the home page of the course right here. Course description, objectives, meet your instructor. That's me, of course. And there's a couple buttons down here, syllabus and modules. If when you come back the next time, this is the first time through, you might want to just go right to modules because that's where the body of the class is. But right now we'll use the button to go to syllabus just to check out the syllabus, and then we'll go to our Canvas page. So here's our syllabus. I have updated this since I first put it out last week. I noticed a couple typos and things like that, so I wanted to make sure everything was as clear as I could be. And this course was not supposed to be an asynchronous course, was supposed to be a synchronous course, so I have made some adjustments to it. So non-synchronous course. These are my office hours, Tuesday, 10 a.m. to noon, by email appointment. So send me an email if you want to talk. You may not want to, but if you want to talk about your grade, any sort of issues, I would always recommend talking to a professor. We're here to help you. So that the door on Zoom is always open. If you can't make those hours, perhaps we can arrange something else. You might not want to talk to me about anything in particular at first either. And I might create a course chat later, so we maybe do simultaneous chats during that same time. But for now, I think Zooming is so much better a way of conversing and communicating than exchanging emails back and forth. 2 minutes on Zoom, we can clarify a lot of details. When it comes to the big assignments, the article, news, summary, assignment, and report, you'll want to talk to me if you want to submit another draft of that at some other point, and we'll go over that in just a second. So you'll be expected to read over this syllabus, and you'll be tested on it the second week. Again, this is an asynchronous course. The most important thing you have to remember about this course is that we'll have assignments due Fridays. So Friday at 5 p.m. at the very latest. That means you do all your reading and work, and you start the quizzes by 4 o'clock Fridays. If you, for some reason, forget about that, unfortunately, everything, the quizzes and the work and assignments close down after 5 p.m. Fridays, so you won't be able to submit. You can always submit work early, and I'll be opening up the course a little bit early, so you can submit courses. You can submit quizzes and things like that a couple weeks in advance if you want, no problem. But don't be late. Just remember Anthropology 203. I need all my reading. I need all of the coursework done by Friday, 5 p.m. So keep that in mind. If you have a lot of courses during the week, Monday through Thursday, just remember, Thursday is my day that I need to get to Anthropology 203. I did this kind of on purpose because, usually Friday is a little milder day, I think, for work. But there you go. So, and also there's assignment portals that you'll be using in Canvas. Do not email me your work. I can't grade it and it will get lost. So you might as well not even submit it that way. If you want me to open up some portal or something, or you were late or something really happened, just email me and we'll talk about it. And perhaps I can open up a portal for you. But do not email me any work because it will get lost, like I said. So these are Canvas courses, right? And so you'll get used to using this. Here are our learning objectives, communication and research learning objectives. Please read this over. It's very important. The textbooks again, with my little note saying conformity and conflict must be the 15th edition. By the way, I have these texts on 2-hour reserve in the SSU library. If you're on campus and you forgot your books and you want to do some work, you can go to the circulation desk and you can check out all of our books for a couple hours, first come, first serve. But do buy the books. Do get the books, rent the books, whatever you have to do. They're absolutely all 3 required for this course, and you will not be able to pass without them. So some expectations I have, online posting protocols. Well, we're going to be talking about gender, sexuality, racism, politics, some really hot button issues. So keep in mind when you're posting, right, that these are sensitive and personal topics, and try to be, try to be sensitive to your peers here when you're, and keeping in mind this is all going to be posted publicly, right, on a public space. You can take notes from the video lectures, but you can also just watch the video lectures, again if you want. So I don't really recommend note taking. Just what I recommend is watching the video lectures that I have and really paying attention to them. So these are the assessments and the ways I'm going to evaluate you: reading content quizzes, true, false, and multiple choice quizzes. The first ones due on the second week, rather, is going to be, and we'll talk about that later, it's going to be worth 20 points, but the rest of them are going to be worth 10. And then we have graded discussion posts and responses, and I'll talk to you about that. Those are short answer questions, basically, that you'll post online, and then you'll reply to a couple of students, 1 or 2 students after that. We have some big assignments coming up. 4th week, 5th week, we have a cultural outline, an article news summary, report outline. I'll go over that more in detail as the time gets there. When you do open the book, Cultural Anthropology, Appreciating Diversity, keep in mind the chapters 5 through 13, you want to look those over and see if one of those particular chapters really resonates with you, because when we get to the 4th week in the class, you'll be sort of taking a pause in the assigned reading and reading one of those chapters and doing a chapter summary on that for the future, so that you can apply that to your article news summary outline. Again, if you want to read more into that, that's here, and we'll be opening up these assignments. Not to worry about it right now. The article news summary outline then becomes a report later on in the semester. Very short report, 300-400 words, but it's a multi-genre report where you have to get a peer-reviewed journal article, a video testimony of some kind in a news article, and a source from the class. So that's where reading the book ahead of time, the chapter where the topic is that you like to do, comes in handy. Here's a breakdown of grading: 12% on the article news summary outline. We have a couple of exams. They're multiple choice, true, false. You'll have plenty of time to do that. These exams maybe an hour and a half or so for 50 questions. If you need a little extra time, that's fine. And I'll basically schedule the exam so it goes throughout the day, so you can take the exam whenever you want, convenient to you in the course of the day. Of course, the cheating protocols do come into effect here, so it's open book, but please don't take it with anybody else. Canvas review quizzes, so we have review quizzes that we're going to be doing throughout the semester as well. Graded discussion posts and responses, an article, news summary report that you're going to be doing again. I usually, about plagiarism and cheating, it for an anthropologist, I have to warn you, it's really obvious to me when I'm not hearing your voice in a written report, because I can recognize voices really clearly. And when I see the same answers wrong on an exam, that's always a hint that maybe there's a duplication in the exam going on there, and I need to investigate that. Just don't cheat. So credit, no credit, you can do. Let's look at the schedule really quickly. So for the first week, we've got a lecturette video. And so what we'll be doing is you'll be coming into the Canvas page, and I'll show you that in a second. First thing you want to do is look at the assignments, see what you're going to be required to do, and I'll go over that in a second. And then go back and look at the lecturette video. Let's just go through the topics really quickly for this on the syllabus here really quickly. So we're going to look at the Introduction to Cultural Anthropology, basically just to introduce the course this first week. So nothing due this first week. Second week, we're going to look at the culture concept. You are going to have something due September 3rd, Friday at 5 p.m. So we're going to wait to schedule anything specifically for you until we get to the third week, September 3rd. So again, if your books aren't coming right on time, don't sweat it. We've got a little time here. This week is just about reading through the syllabus, watching orientation video, ordering and receiving books. And we'll start for real next week with the work. Nothing due again till September 3rd, Friday, 5 p.m. So the third week, we'll do the culture concept. The fourth week, we'll look at social theory and field work. And on the fifth week is when we'll actually take a pause. And you'll read ahead some chapter in the book and do a little bit of research on that. So we'll take a break right here and do that. And so the first 5 weeks of this course are an introduction to the course. We'll start getting into the heavier topics, though, starting week 6, language and communication. Is that something you'd like to do research on? Think about it. That's in the book. I've been doing a lot of research on language. So during the course of this class on Mondays, I'll give you a video announcement of some kind after I review all of the grading I've seen from that week and all of your assignments, just to give you some feedback. But I'd also like to provide you on those announcements every Monday a little bit of a hint of the research that I've been undertaking this past year, and filling in what's new in all of these topics that might be really interesting for you, especially in language and communication, because I'm writing a book on communication right now. Ethnicity and race, week 7, hot button issues, right? Black Lives Matter, all of this year. Let's take that up. Let's take those issues apart a little bit. Let's interrogate racism and where it's found. One thing you might be interested in right now, I'll just tell you up front about this particular week, is for a lot of anthropologists like myself, we just simply we don't think race exists. The concept of race is a misnomer to us. There is ethnicity, certainly, but race is a bad concept, a bad construction. So we'll talk about that first. I still seem to see race everywhere, and I have no idea why. And so let's talk about that a little bit in this course. So Week 8, we'll do go over making a living. Been doing some research on that, early agriculture and the anthropology of food and wine. So I have a lot to maybe talk about, kind of update you on my research there on those Mondays. And political systems, power and law. Week 9, is this kind of something you'd be interested in researching? How about gender identity and sexuality? Week 11, kinship, descent, and association. So important, right? Lineage, marriage and family. Week 12. Week 13, religion and spirituality. So important. So much more important than you believe. You know, we still believe, I think, in a world, in a Western world constructed by Judeo-Christianity. You know, our ideas about morality and values really still descend from there and still are very deeply embedded in our society. So let's talk about that week as well. How about arts, media, and sports? Very interesting week. And finally, we'll do have a Thanksgiving break, come back and do applied anthropology, where we'll talk about maybe having taking other anthropology classes and kind of talk about the applied concept of anthropology. Where does it used in the real world? You know, why is it valuable? I have some university policies here you might want to read over. And so let's go to the Canvas course. So let's go into our Canvas page. So you'll land on the home page again. Go to modules. And boy, this take a little while. When we go into modules, you'll see the start here video that I'm about to do for you here that we're on right now. So you don't have to watch that again. Do announcements, syllabus right here in this file. You'll see some article news summary reports, some samples, rubrics, instructions, reference style guide. We'll be getting into that more later. Very important, these are the first readings of the course text. So if you want to start on the course, you don't have the books, but you want to get started, start reading right here. And if it's going to take a week for you to get your course texts, order those books, but you can start today, right there. First readings of the course. These files will be opening later on the semester. A Google sign-up sheet for article news summary topics and a Google sign-up sheet for office hours. We don't need those right away. Like I said, if you want to contact me, have some office hours, you can email me, or again, we can set up a one-on-one Zoom on Tuesdays. So let's look at a typical week. This is going to start next week. August 23rd is the start. So I'll always put the date right here of the start of the week for you, so you know to start doing this. We'll open up the overview of topics. And this is going to be typical of what you'll see. Pre-class activities, an intro to this topic and learning objectives, the reading, and looking ahead. So going back, just kind of an overview of what you'll need to do for the week. For this particular week, you'll want to go to the lecturette video and watch this first. You'll watch that first and then do the reading, followed by the reading for the introductory course text. I also will have video and web links every week for you to watch as well. So get started for next week. You'll do this. Kind of a soft introduction to the course. Web links coming up. I'll look these over and make sure they're not broken. But watch these and, take them for what they are. They go with the course. And I'll try to explain that on Mondays a little bit more, why we're watching these, etc. And I do explain it in the lecturette video as well. So next week's kind of a soft week, no assessments or quizzes yet. And the reason I do that is because a lot of students will be adding, dropping, try to arrange their schedule. So I kind of have a soft opening in this course generally for that very reason. So finally, on week 3 then, an overview of topic and learning objectives. This is kind of what the weeks will look like from here on out, for real. So you'll look at this overview of topics. We know what that is, right? It's a kind of an orientation for the week. The lecturette video is what the basically stands for, the lecture video and web links. And then the assessment. So what I would do if I were you, when I landed for the next week, say August 30th on Monday, I would say, okay, well, August 30th, my professor's reminding me of what all I have to do here for this week. That ends September 3rd. Friday, on every Friday at 5 p.m. So I'll open up the graded discussion. And this is what I would suggest. Open up that graded discussion first and read over what your reading is, but also read over the questions. So you can, on a notepad or on some sort of Word document, fill in these answers. And so you'll want to, on a like a separate page, essentially, on Word or some other text document, number these questions and answer these questions. So from reading number 31, Body Ritual of Nasarima, Readings and Culture, what do you think the psychological function of the Nasarima body rituals are? So on your paper, you'll say, number 1, I think this is da-da-da-da. Number 2, on your paper, you'll say, quoting ancestors, okay? Pick a quote from the first, okay, so you'll put down a quote and that resonated with you and tell me why it's interested. And then, so you want to create a text document with and number them 1 through 4 on a separate, basically, piece of paper. And then you'll post them in to the response right here that will open up. So you post those in. And then after you post those in, then you'll want to reply. Number 5 is a reply to 2 other students for this week. So you'll reply here, and then you'll post them in, and you'll see how it's done. Basically, you'll be allowed to post it some other time. But that's basically what we're doing for those graded discussions. This one's worth 11 points. Most of them will be worth 9 points. So I would do look at the graded discussions first, go back to the overview of the topic, watch the lecturette video. It's because the lecturette videos are all about kind of introducing you to the topic in general. Then do the reading for the course. Then watch the video and web links. Then you're good. Then take that reading content quiz, post in the answers to the graded discussion, and reply to students. So you'll get the hang of it. After this first one, it'll be mostly the same every week. We'll take a little break around the library research week in week 5, and I'll talk to you more about that. And that's basically the course. So that's my little course introduction for you. I wish I were able to talk to you in person or through Zoom this semester, but it was set up as an asynchronous class, and we'll try to be in contact as much as we can throughout the semester. This course is kind of self-paced. I think about 10 weeks on in the course, you'll probably be, it'll be deep in the semester, and you may start to get fatigued a little bit. My advice is to, maybe you can work ahead. You can always, go 2 or 3 weeks forward in the work if you'd like. That's not a problem. So you can self-pace there. But again, every assignment is due on that Friday, and you can't take that assignment afterwards. The reason for that is the content quizzes at that time on Fridays. You get to know what you got wrong on them. And that's really important for the exams in the course, because those quizzes feed into the exam. And so you'll want to review those quizzes to see what you got wrong for the exams, which are going to be twice this year. Twice this semester, rather. So that's it. One more quick piece of advice for you if you're an incoming freshman is that just pace yourself and don't get behind. I told my son, when he first entered college, he just graduated, but my first piece of advice was do as well as you can with the first semester and the second semester of college. Stay with it. Be consistent as you can be. Be proactive with your work. Get it done so that you can have that time to relax. Like I said in this course, you can get it done ahead of time if you want. Usually my students do really well in this class, except for when they disappear, except for when they forget to do their work. And that happens, on occasion. And I've been that student, when I first started off college, and I've been the other student who was really consistent when I came back to college. So stay with it. And around week 8 or 9, if you feel yourself getting a little fatigued, take 1 week and do a little, maybe twice as much work that week. Get ahead of yourself so you can take the next week off. And that's my advice. So I will see you on Mondays when I send out the announcements based on a work. And hope you have a great semester.